You know that person who never talks about their pain, but somehow always shows up for yours, the one who lost their job and didn't spiral, who buried someone they loved and still made everyone else breakfast the next morning, and just kept going, quiet, steady, unshakable. You've wondered your whole life, how did they do that? Because you've tried. You've read the self-help books, downloaded the meditation apps, paid for the therapy sessions, and that person has never done any of that, and they're still more put together than you. Today, psychology is finally explaining why, and the answer traces back to one specific decade, the 1970s. This video will show you exactly what that era did to their brain, and why that generation carries a strength the modern world is desperately trying to recreate. There are two kinds of people in today's world. Some cannot sit in silence for 5 minutes. The second boredom hits, phone comes out. They need noise, stimulation, constant input, just to feel okay. And then there are others who can sit completely alone in a quiet room with nothing and feel totally at peace. That difference doesn't come from personality. It comes from how your brain was wired in childhood. Psychologists call this distress tolerance, the ability to sit with discomfort without falling apart. Dr. Peter Gray, research psychologist at Boston College, found something alarming. As children's unsupervised activity declined after the 1970s, anxiety and emotional instability among young people steadily climbed, every single decade, without exception. The American Psychological Association confirmed, children who resolve conflicts independently develop stronger emotional intelligence and more stable mental health in adulthood. The 1970s was an accidental laboratory for all of this, and nobody planned it. Here's what 70s childhood actually looked like. 3 TV channels. Saturday morning cartoons, then nothing. No GPS. No helicopter parents scheduling every hour of the day. Mom said one thing, be home before dark. That was the entire instruction manual. They built forts, got in fights, and resolved them without a single adult involved. They were bored for hours. And that boredom was quietly rewiring their brains into something extraordinary. Now, here's the part that flips everything. We look at the 1970s and see a chaotic, uncertain decade. We think, what a rough time to grow up. But psychology says the complete opposite. The very conditions that looked like neglect were actually building unshakable resilience. Growing up without a safety net didn't break these kids. It turned them into the safety net for every person around them. That person in your life who always shows up, no matter what. That's not just personality, that's a brain forged in difficulty. Early, without a choice. Neuroscience confirms it. A brain raised without constant stimulation develops what researchers call the default mode network, responsible for creativity, emotional processing, and inner calm. Today's generation, raised on infinite scroll and instant gratification, needs external input just to feel okay. But 70s kids, their brains were trained by silence to generate their own peace. No app required. Psychologists call what they developed psychological flexibility. The ability to adapt, absorb failure without spiraling, carry pain without posting about it. Modern therapy spends billions teaching this one trait. 70s kids learned it for free, on a rusted metal swing set, completely unsupervised. So if that person in your life grew up in the 1970s, tell them this. You are not out of touch. You are not behind the times. The way you show up for others even when you're breaking inside, that's distress tolerance. The way you carry pain quietly and keep moving, that's psychological flexibility. The fact that you don't need validation to know your own worth, that is the rarest psychological strength of the 21st century. We gave children everything they needed to be comfortable, and in doing so, we accidentally took away everything they needed to be strong. If this made you think of someone, share this with them. They deserve to know what they're actually made of. And if you want to understand the psychology behind the people who shaped your life, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.